The family that prays together stays together. Welcome to today's doctrinal reflection on the exaltation of the cross. I am Seminarian Derick Kimeu from the Catholic Diocese of Wote, studying at St. Thomas Aquinas Seminary. Today we celebrate the feast of the exaltation of the Holy Cross, and we ask ourselves, what can we learn from the cross of Christ? There are several aspects or several lessons that we can draw from the cross of Christ. First and foremost, about forgiveness and sacrifice. We learn that forgiveness takes sacrifice on our part towards others. We remember the words of Christ on the cross, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." So we look at Christ and say, Christ forgave them. And then we can draw this very important lesson that it calls upon us also to forgive others, even when we think that they do not merit our forgiveness. Even when we feel that they are not even sorry for their mistakes, Christ urges us, learn to forgive, learn to let go. The second thing that we can learn from the cross of Christ is the measure of true love. Let us look at Christ crucified. Let us remember his words to the apostles, that no one has greater love than this, for one to lay down their lives for others. Then we learn Christ gave his all. Christ gave all he had for others. And then we ask ourselves today, how much are we also willing to give for others? How much love do we have for others, to the extent that we are even willing to sacrifice everything that we have for their sake? Number 3, we learn on the value of humility. And I say that humility is the new coat of the true Christian. Let us look at Christ on the cross, and let us remember the soldiers as they mock him. The soldiers as they say among themselves, and as they tell him, he was able to save others. Is he now not able to save himself? Let us remember the soldiers saying, come down from the cross and we will be able to believe you. And we wonder, would they really have believed in him if he came? We realize one thing, Christ humbled himself to the extent that he was not willing to prove his point. He was not out to prove that, yes, I am the Messiah at this moment. No. He humbled himself, like the letter to the Philippians says, obediently accepting even death. So we learn this important virtue of humility, that it is not about being right. It is not about emerging as victorious and the other one emerging as the loser. No, it is saying, may the will of the Lord be done in our lives. The other lesson, and the final that I had for today, is victory over evil. Let us look at the cross again. The soldiers looked at the cross and said, he is now defeated. It was shameful to look at Jesus on the cross. They knew that the story is over, it's completed. But then, alas, the joy of the resurrection, and Christ emerges victorious. So the crucifix, the cross of Christ, is now not a defeat for him, but it is saying that I am emerging victorious. I have conquered death. I have conquered evil. And just as I have conquered death, just as I have conquered evil, so will you also. So will I. So we remember one thing as we pray. Let us remember to pray and honor the crucifix of Christ and honor the cross of Christ, for truly the family that prays together stays together. Thank you.